afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, like Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Semoisky. Between the south, we got Fk9DD fighting here for America, freedom and democracy. The 99th Infantry Division here with Airborne immediately chosen. He's by way of rank 51 player from, I believe, Russia with infantry, penal troop, and pathfinder bulletins. Oh, penal troop, paratrooper, damn it. I'm just so used to being paratroopers. Penal troopers, penal troopers, not paratroopers. God damn it! This is not going to be a good stream. Probably a good episode, so just not a rough start. Good for me. In the north, we got Vasto here fighting for the Soviet, not the Soviet, the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Damn it! Taking on the role here of the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision with lightning or elite troops and mechanized assault, triple infantry. He is a rank, I believe, 83 actually. Play with the Wehrmacht, and he's from South Korea. Good thing I didn't say North Korea there. Grenadiers on the way for Vasto. In the south, you can see them immediately push for the fuel point while rapidly towards the centre-ish. They could also veer off and go for the fuel point there, and certainly pressuring the opponents through, forcing Vasto to have to divert resources. There would actually not be a bad move at all by Fk9DD. But of course, you might be worried about Vasto getting too much of a foothold in the centre. Sandbags and wire here prevents the opponent from under any circumstances making use of the sandbags against him. Second reason scored here of Fk9DD, allowing him to seize more territory. Obviously doesn't quite have as much combat value as say an additional rifle score, but he just has that ability to grab territory, and he's just been then sent towards maybe that fuel point up north. So MD42 pioneers in the centre, MD42 holding up the rifle as they try to crawl back into the church. Up north, Grenadiers making their way towards the fuel point there, but Fk9DD secured his first and lastly get a fuel edge over Vasto. Rather than sneaking about there, how will Fk9DD react to Vasto's move towards the centre here? Single that he's got there arriving. He's shifting already here actually though, which might indicate he's trying to sort out maneuver his opponent. Maybe make him think the MD42 is still there and then basically play around with it. Then again, he should be able to view it here, so I'm not entirely sure what exactly Vasto's plan is, but he's definitely not playing, it entirely like you normally play. We got an ambulance rolling up here for Fk9DD, pretty early one. Still only got 2 VSN squads here, wiring off here. In this case, going to get spotted by the pioneers and rushed. Pushing up the west side of the VSN squad number 2, moving up to secure the points. They almost got the fuel point here, but the rifleman I think should be hitting it soon enough, so that will maybe force Vasto to reconsider his movement so far. So going to do stopping back here in case he might try and push for the Coh2 point. MD4 taking southwards. So he's going to try and push for his opponent fuel there. Very good move. Very good move. There seems to be an increasing number of players realising that just sticking into the centre is actually not as good idea as just hitting the fuel points. With the third grenade squad there from Vasto, the MD42 basically currently preventing any movements from the centre towards defending the fuel point there. And up north here we'll have grenadiers with his riflemen. Only a few shots have been fired here and there. Up close, this actually a bit of a tactical area there by Vasto's getting too close to the rifle, plus someone's going to do this sticking out a bit too much. Overall, this will be an engagement. The rifleman will be winning easily. MD42 shifting back, we got Grenadiers engaging the rifleman there. The pioneers are not moving towards the fuel point though. I would think he would actually done that, just pressure the fuel point immediately. He's also not dispatching additional Grenadiers, at least not right away to defend the fuel point, because that is now very much open to Fk9DD's harassment. Right, instead he's sending that Grenadier squad away there. Seems like Vasto is reaching, and we got a 4th Grenadier squad, so looks like Vasto might be playing a tier 3 rush with this sort of opening, which could work out. Though it would definitely benefit if he'd actually just send the pioneers down to the fuel point instead of veering off to grab the victory point there on the side. Then again, he might have been worried about the victory point bleed that Fk9DD could be slowly setting up against him. Grenadiers reactions here. More Grenadiers ready, others reinforcing. Tech as well there for Vasto and the German army. Counter-attacking to the centre, trying to clear out the church and the Americans there, gain control before it's too late. Pathfinders available here to Fk9DD and immediately goes for them. Here versus Vasto and the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision. Reaction squad going in there. Gonna probably try and take some of these points back. Grenadier squad there, we got all 3 Grenadier squads now slowing towards the fuel point there up north. Southern munition secured there by Vasto's pioneer. And seemingly then a bit forgotten by him. Tech up done. Grenadiers are slowly losing out to the rifleman. The rifleman not in the best position now. We got double pathfinders from Fk9DD. Double pathfinders at the same time flanked by the re-echelons actually getting behind the MD42 and the Grenadiers. That's an interesting move there by Fk9DD. That's only did not anticipate that, and neither did Vasto. Pioneers retreating, so he might actually be building a light mechanized company, in which case he's going for a pretty heavy tier 1 into a tier 2, which can of course also work, but it doesn't necessarily quite have the same payout with the same speed and nastiness. We'll see how that actually ends up working out. Carve point there hit. And we got Pathfinders versus the MD42. The MD42 with a bit low in health. So we'll have to see how this works out. The Pathfinder should have a decent chance. But he could. Nah, he's going to have to retreat here. The MD42 I think will not last. There we go. Got one kill, then down to one just gunner, who has to get the devil out of there before he gets swiped by the Pathfinders and the marksmen. One kill there so far. Carve point regained for the German army. Bunker up. Maybe it was that was a building or not. Actually planning like to make that move. He could still be on the path for tier 3 rush. We'll have to see. Pathfinders advancing here. And again, we're talking 2 Pathfinder squads. Most players generally only go for 1. They rarely if ever go for 2 though. So it's quite interesting to see what Fk9DD is planning with 2 riflemen and 2 Pathfinders. He also had 2 Echelons, but he's lost one of those squads to the Germans. So that's a small tactical victory there for Vasto and the Panzerlehr. It looks like he might finally be trying to push for the fuel there in the south, though quickly being off. And again, he could have done that sooner. I think had a much better chance of pressure his opponent. As for Fk9DD, I'm guessing he's going to be going for the captain. Yes, indeed, he could then push out a Stuart pretty fast here. And pressure. Vasto would also make it hard for him to go for tier 3 for this, but he isn't. He's going for the like to make a nice company. So tier 3 rush is definitely not in the books anymore. That was quite the nicely timed. They just got there right before the grenade went off. But we got elite troops there for Vasto versus paratroopers. We got G43's concussive grenades with stormtroopers an option down the road. Panzer Tactician and obviously the Tiger Ace. Gunners being assaulted by Rifles supported by Pathfinders. We got a Rifle grenade off against the Pathfinders doing a bit of damage. But units behind heavy cover take 50% less damage from the grenade if the grenade actually goes over the cover in the process. You have to flank them so we have the grenade do full damage. Little fun fact there.
Captain just took the battlefield.
There you go. Captain out for Fk9DD. Vasto going for 222. Could also go for half track here. But he's worried about enemy light vehicles, I imagine. Or just wants to put some pressure on his opponent a bit faster. Though again, with 4 Grenadier squads, a half track will be a very solid choice to allow him to support them much better on the battlefield, ensuring he doesn't have to retreat as much. He could have thusly, pressure his opponent more, plus just shift them about wherever needed. Pop pair of Grenadiers popping out a half track with G43s and a light machine gun could quickly do a lot of damage to an unsuspecting opponent. But there we go, stood on the way, and yes, he's using the captain to supervise. Clearly, Fk9D has taken lessons here from the Dave School of USF Warfare, which includes actually using the bloody abilities available to the USF. But I mean, also just double Pathfinders. That's definitely out of the ordinary. That is not a usual USF play at all. That, and of course, using abilities and not just relying on raw rifle power here. Got the 2-2 moving in, then gagging the rifle, pushing them away. Pioneer sneaking a bit about here to the south. Looks like there might have been a misclick involved here. I'm guessing he's using the minimap here to order about, and he's just not quite hitting it. I occasionally get myself, use the minimap to order, and then somehow you manage to hit like right next to it by a pixel to get on the map. That's like, bloody several meters. There you go. He's almost got the fuel there in the south. Captain moving in though, should be able to flush out those crowds. Steward patrolling aggressively. Vasto has not had the opportunity to lay down telemines here, and he's only got the 2-2, so he's either going to have to bring up pack 40, another 2-2, or even 2 more 2-2s, or he has to stall for stormtroopers with the Panther Strike, or of course try and pull for armor. G for the few versus Pathfinders here. Pathfinders are winning out here, as they're going to do so far. Heavy cover, plus of course the marksman rifles, allow them to quickly gain any HP as they're going to. There we go, down to half size. Those marksmen are doing a lot of damage here for Vasto, and I'm against the Pathfinders here that Vasto's over, or Fk9DD is banking on. There you go, almost wiped out entire Grenadier squad. They were basically in heavy cover too, though perhaps could have been better in it. But the important bit is just marksman rifles can, under the right circumstances, just quickly drop a lot of models very quick, thusly gaining an advantage very quick. Bit more damage here from the 2-2 on the Stuart. Shielding reinforcing. There you go, moving in the 2-2 with the Pathfinders, since the Pathfinders can't deal with the 2-2. No matter how much skill the marksmen have, they can't single shot a 2-2 yet. MG42 setting up there. Incendiary Pismans could be helpful here. Do some extra damage. Get maybe some damage into the steward. And also just have a chance of getting a few wipes in there. Almost got the Vetri 2 Pathfinder squad here. That actually be a bit of a loss there for Fk9DD. We did lose his more. Oh, they get away. They get away. If he popped for Incendiary Pismans, there you go. Duck by to the rear of the steward bar, which is doing increased damage because that's a chance of penetrating. There you go, taking down to less than half health. And Vetri 2 on that MG42. More damage there. Just saying into that we got the 2-2 moving in here. Halfway to veteran 3 on that MG42. And there you go, Racing's caught out and them getting absolutely torn apart by the Incendiary Piston rounds. Joe, dead. Jack not feeling too well either. And we got paratroopers out here for Fk9DD. As the MG42 approaches veteran 2-3. Gonna use the need to retreat soon. Pathfinder's pulling back for healing reinforcement as well. Paratrooper squad almost done here. Question is, oh, he's popping it pretty close to the front line. Needs to be careful around that tree. That tree has killed many a paratrooper. In this case, though, it ends up being a bush that serves the fatherland. My God, that bush is a Nazi. What? Did you just say bush is a Nazi? Maybe. Anyways, goddamn bushes. 2-2 firing out on the captain there. Going for the Browning double light machine gun. That's a lot of firepower plus suppressive ability as well here. Not quite my favourite upgrade, though of course some players like it a lot more than the Thompsons. Personally I prefer the Thompsons because of the tactical assault ability. But it's definitely not to say the double light machine guns are bad by any measure. Not at all. They are quite solid. And obviously in a 6-man squad they're amazing. There's going to be a bit of a problem here for Vasto and the Panzer Air Panzer Division. The 99th Infantry Division has received vital support. And there you go. Double MGs firing rate they're going to use there. Steward acting as infantry support, which was increasing its role as the war progressed, as moved away from reconnaissance, which was taken over by the Greyhound and the Trent utility car. And there you go. More Incendiary Pismans here. He is not hesitating. He's pushing ahead for armor, using the Incendiary Pismans and the 2-2 to stall the steward. And an incredibly bold move here by Vasto. Very, I would say, cold as well. I mean, that requires some balls of steel to pull that kind of off here. But Vasto is confident he can do it. And so far, his MG42 is pulling it off there. Pushing back the steward again. He's close to losing, and he's also about to lose the Grenadiers. Need to fall back with both elements. Losing that veteran 3 MG42 now, I think would be quite a blow to Vasto. Stug on the way there, going straight for some stronger shots. But the MG42 remains. Pathfinder, he needs to retreat the MG42 now. Those Pathfinders have a good chance of wiping out. Plus, with the MG42's veterans, they could gain a lot of experience. Paratroopers moving up there, pulling on those Browning light machine guns. Aiming there for a flank on the Grenadiers, maybe. Yes, but we got another Grenadier squad carrying the light machine gun, hiding in the reeds. With another Grenadier squad coming up with the G43s. In this case, Fk9DD, faced with so much firepower, decides that the best approach is a tactical retreat, maybe bait them into a grenade ambush. But the MG42 definitely needs to get out of there. That's just really too bad. We got the 2-2 moving up. Their paratroopers doing what they can. Pathfinder's opening up, but that's not having much of an impact either. Mortified joining in on the house, they're preventing from getting it, so he's using it, except for anything but a passage. Nope, well, he's actually laying down a lot of these beacons, allowing him to reinforce the paratroopers on the battlefield. That's actually some pretty high level stuff. Most players, even if they go for paratroopers, never make use of this stuff, but again, it allows the paratroopers just to reinforce near these things, which is actually a pretty big advantage. Double rifle grenades, though, huge impact on the rifle and the Pathfinder. It's almost taking out the entire rifle squad. Pathfinder's not doing particularly good either here. Nasty stuff. Meanwhile, Vasto creeping up as mortar. MG42 remains in a pretty tricky spot. Stood almost taking out. It's the Stug now rolls ahead for the fatherland. Grenadiers hunting the Omnibus. The paratroopers with the light machine guns, raking down almost the entire unit. Stewart trying to desperately escape here. Blinds the Stug's vision. Block here. Ah, Jesus. This is some tense stuff. Now driving in circles around the Stug. More grenades after the Stug goes that more. Paratroopers means they're mortified. There you go. Cuts the grenade off. And right on the money. And the mortar round takes them out. Fk9DD, I think, is trying to manage too much here. And Vasto was able to punish him for it. Quite exquisitely, though. That was quite a loss there. Quite a loss. The Steward outmaneuvering the Stug for now. Cat moving up with the bazooka. He's got no other weapon mech upgrades, so that's all he's got there until he either takes for some armor or gets an anti-tank gun out. But that loss of a paratrooper squad, huge loss, and he'd done so much to support them, set out for it and everything. A shame that just a moment of inattention just cost him it, because I'm pretty sure that was just him being too focused on the steward to actually realize what's going on there. But he's about to get the Stug with just the captain. In this case, Vasto himself made a mistake, that he's rushing in the Stug without infantry. The Stug is an assault gun. It is meant to support infantry. That was his purpose, supporting infantry. And he's sending in without infantry for it to support, resulting in the total loss of the Stug there. So, I mean, the loss of the paratrooper was heavy, but the loss of the Stug is pretty heavy for Vasto as well, in particular since his opponent still has to do it. 2-2 right from the steward here. Second paratrooper squad arriving, and of course with these beacons down can land more safely. Pathfinder's not much concerned abandoning the church. He's almost got the 2-2-2. Panzerfaust fails at point blank range. Helmut, have you been at your schnapps again? We need you to hit the Americans, not the dirt. And a full Canadian squad wiped there because the Panzerfaust went off the mark. Oh dear, that just went from bad to worse here for Vasto. Has to go for a Pack 40. He could consider some stormtroopers, but he doesn't have munitions for an assault rifle, so it wouldn't be quite immediately there. And the G43s one need aren't, you know, particularly what you might want to go for the stormtrooper. At least I don't. But there you go. Second paratrooper squad, more light machine guns, and now he's actually taking out a huge chunk of Vasto's forces. Vasto needs to be careful of that MG42 though. I'm definitely feeling worried about that one. Another Stug for Vasto. Grenadiers fighting here from the lakeside, blasting at everything that looks remotely American here with everything they got. Sending on people to stall the Americans, but again, low health. Pathfinders moving in, taking fire there, getting raked with heavy, unrelenting fire from the MD42 crew. Veteran free sure is one hell of a drug. And there we go. Pathfinder's getting killed. Riflemen getting pinned down as well. And there you go. Paratroopers moving out in the open. That's the MD42 here. And there you go. They're giving the MD42 everything they got. 30 caliber rounds. She's raking the side of the house. The MD42 is about to get wiped out. And he gets wiped out. Vasto was definitely pushing his luck too much. He was hoping for it to just stall and hope the entire thing up. But the paratroopers with the light machine guns were able to just wear down the entire thing, scoring him a tactical victory and another blow to Vasto. Stug ready though. He's also got the Pack 40 and he's bringing up another MG42. Good. Panzer Grenadiers and Stormtroopers, the long term would I think be a strong choice as well, in particular because Fk9DD is not upgrading his rifleman. Meaning Panzer Grenadiers would be great. We actually got another beacon down. He's laying down a lot of beacons. So the thing is, they're free and they actually give you information on their minimap as well. So, I mean, they're just pretty good to lay down. Plus, again, they benefit the paratroopers as reinforcement points. Stug, they're going straight here for the Steward. Veteran 3, he's got an ace. He's got a reconnaissance ace. A scout hero. One thing holding back Fk9DD though is a lack of tech. He is not pushing for armor as of yet. They definitely should want to do it, or at least get some weapon racks up. Because obviously does risk getting crushed down eventually, unless Vasto does something really bad, by his armor. MG4 caught here with the paratroopers trying to set up, but the paratroopers with their double 30 calibers are quite the mean customers. There you go, Stormtroopers sneaking up, occupying and denying the house. Pathfinder's nearby, Stewart nearby as well there. Stewart with engine support and pack support pushing from the north here. Stewart falling back in the wake of such a ferocious German assault. Also again worth noting here is Vasto not just attacking through here, but also attacking through here, taking this part. This is actually, you know, again really good. It's actually really important. I mean, some players can just get so focused on here, but Vasto has clearly been listening to the lessons of the propaganda ministry and realised, you know, this is actually pretty good to attack through rather than here if you're in the north. So, thumbs up to Vasto from the Propagandacast. And there you go, Pack 40 appearing. Stewart, though, outmanning the Stug here, which got a damaged engine. But he actually used the point-blank engine shot ability for that. He might actually, because... well, there could have been a rifle involved, I guess, but still either way, though. Stug is the damage end. That's going to require Pioneers. That means it's going to be going anything further, though the Pioneers are thankfully for Vasto nearby. Fk9DD, though, continues in his quest to not tech for tanks, except the Steward. If at least you're not going to go for more bigger tanks, at least consider going for these numerous Stewards. That way, creating sort of smaller, lighter armoured force. Like that way, you know, going around, separate rank, you know, maybe dealing with larger tanks, and particularly supported by anti-tank guns. I mean, that could be an option there for Fk9DD, but he definitely needs to begin spending his resources, I think, a bit more efficiently. Beacon spotted and ripped to bits. Stormtroopers advancing, closing in on the Sturmgewehr upgrade. Captain setting out. More beacons being spotted. Hey Helmut, this thing, yeah, I don't think it's one of ours. It says made into USA. Shoot it! Jawohl. Closing eventually to down the mortar steward strikes like lightning. And just like lightning, quickly vanishes again. Cat and Patrick moving in there. Patrick haven't seen some action for a bit of a while there, but they should have a chance now to stretch their muscles and their guns. Do take bazooka hits there. Smaller scale attack here, but with pretty veteran infantry. Pushing back Vasto Center, which was pretty weak. Up north here, Pet Stormtroopers on their own. Can now get assault rifles. Damn it, hiccups. Curse them. And you've got two forming a bulwark here. A point where Vasto can slightly fall back to, but the problem is, though, his pack is about to get wiped here by the paratroopers. The lack of artillery is not helping Fk9DD alongside the lack of armor, which would allow him to deal with machine gun reasonably easy. He's trying here to pull forward with the paratroopers, but they are suppressed before they can cross the street. And actually now easy for the Stu to crush. Could already minding the line with the screwdriver. Hey Jürgen, have you ever seen American pancakes? 9? Why do you ask? Watch this. Anyways, Pathfinder gives us a storm. So sad we didn't get that, obviously. Well, some might say fortunately. Panzer IV for Vasto, Fk9DD remains ardent in his refusal to tag up. And also not go for any anti-tank. Well, he's going for bazookas now and BAR, so that's something. But I still feel like he's pushing his luck a bit here. I mean, again, if you're not going to tag up, at least go for more Stewards. I mean, it's perhaps not quite as considered, but I mean, if you're already just going off the beaten road with that, I mean, several Stewards can actually be quite effective if done correctly. The right he's about to toss it away, there he gets it close to the Panzerfaust and incendiary armor piston rounds. Tactical error there by Fk9DD. Tactical error. I can see what he's trying to do without sufficient support. That's just not going to work out. And now Vasto strikes back for the Faserland. And we got concussive grenade off there. Pathfinder said eventually fear paratrooper squad number 2 up this time with Thompson submachine guns, so it's not all about the LMGs. It does also have room for the Thompson. Stu needs to be back for repairs. Gun is about to get wiped out there. Oh dear, it might be too late now. Yeah, full wipe there. Quite a loss for Vasto and the German army. Though the Panzer IV should help pick up the slack a bit. And Fk9DD is finally teching. He's finally teching. Only took him quite a long time there, but he's finally moving for the tanks. Gonna do squad number 2. Needs to evacuate before it gets wiped. Bazooka fire impacting on the Panzer IV's frontal armor, doing some damage. Stu to be pulled back for repairs. Panzer IV should also retreat. Got the Stormtroopers. Gonna do this mean Morton nearby supporting. And there go Rifleman, almost obliterated by the Panzer IV. One man though escapes. Oh, except not. Taken up by Motorrand. I'm safe! Oh, my kidneys. And my legs. I'm not entirely sure what's more important, but I'm dead either way. Grenade off there. Paratroopers falling back. Other paratroopers there just laying down covering fire. Stormtroopers need to retreat before they get annihilated. Close 22 there on the paratroopers. Fk9DD can go straight for the Sherman, straight for Scots or Jackson. And in this case, Fk9DD doubles up on the Jackson tank destroyers. Paratroopers don't need to go away. That mortar crew is turning into a lean, mean Yankee killing machine as it hits 23 with 15 kills for the fatherland. Paratroopers receiving vital medical aid. Jackson halfway down there for Fk9DD. You should, by the way, consider up getting a Stuke with light machine guns whenever possible, because they do add a bit. In particular, in conjunction with other units, these do sort of add a bit of extra trickle of damage, which sort of allows you to get a few extra hits in there and whack some stuff. Plus, it just gives the Stuke more experience, which is generally never a bad idea. Fk9DD remains control of the map. He is very low on victory points, and he might actually at some point want to consider some fighting position, particularly sort of the more far-flung points here. Also put more pressure on the right side. He's getting, I think, a bit too occupied just only holding in this sort of sliver of map here. But just giving Vasto some opportunity to attack for him. We can see now there's a bigger scale assault here. Infantry pushing through here. Though interesting enough, the stormtroopers is just clearing up the rear there and might be setting up for a larger flank down the road. No armor support up there though. With only Jackson, that's not necessarily going to be necessary in the high degree there. And Fk9DD also not going for any artillery. There we go. Paratroopers supported by 2 Pathfinder squads, laying down a severe volume of fire. But there you go. Panzer IV arrives, almost takes out the entire paratrooper squad. 2 men left alive. But there you go. Captain to the rescue there. Silver Bazooka hits impacting on the side on the Panzer IV. More hits there from the Jackson, almost taking out the Panzer IV entirely. Oh dear. Strategic point there, acting as a problem for the Panzer IV. Mortify continues raining down the right. Now Vasto's got a problem. All of his infantry is elsewhere, meaning his armour is now completely vulnerable. He's calling in the Tiger Ace here as a desperate measure to try and save the other armour he's got here. Pretty risky there by Vasto. It works out great, but if it doesn't, he's going to be in some deep sauerkraut. Stuke desperate trying to get away. Got punishment to repair here. Tiger Ace basically acting as bait as a much larger target for Fk9DD to deal with. Ace there opening up the Jackson, almost taken out there with its 18 Humblers Marine. There you go! He's charging ahead, got the Jackson, but a lot of bazooka hits down the Ace. I think he even tried to crush the paratrooper, but they were able to get out of the way there of the raging Tiger Ace. But there you go. A lot of bazooka hits to taking the Tiger Ace down to half health in a matter of seconds, but not before ultimately causing a full retreat there for Fk9DD, who does follow up with another Jackson tank destroyer. I want to be careful about that house there though, Vast. I mean, if anything notches into that house, it's going to collapse, killing the Grenadiers. Major there in a bit of a major pickle as the Tiger Ace just advances ruthlessly. So all of Vasto's armor made. The problem is now he's only got 1 Pioneer squad to fix it all, and he's also with the Tiger Ace, so it's going to take him time to get the manpower to get out more Pioneer squads. And with the Tiger Ace and all the other armies, going to need, I think, at least 3 Pioneer squads to be able to keep them all properly maintained and get them back in the fight. Particularly the Tiger Ace is going to be quite repair intensive.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Stu setting out, still no pendulum up machine gun. And there you go, M36 Jackson tank destroyer arrives for Fk9DD. The DD stands for double democracy. Anyways, Jackson moving ahead here. Opening up on the Tiger Ace. Fat hit there, taking it down to half health, in fact maybe even less than that. Captain rushing it, Rearson following up. It doesn't activate any rifleman left, so it can't actually, you know, damage his engine. Tiger Ace still managing to keep the pursuers at bay, but it is very low on health here. One wrong move from Vasto and his Tiger Ace could go down. Stuke suffering the wrath of America here as bazooka rockets are plenty to just fly at it. Jackson almost finishing off the job. Tiger Ace remaining close to the front line, hiding behind the MD-42, which Fk9DD will not have an easy way of actually dealing with due to a lack of tanks or artillery. Both Stuke and Jackson nick near each other in the south. Here we got paratroopers going for the eastern victory point, clearing out the Grenadiers. Jackson trying to pull it. Oh, he might get hit by the target weak point. Oh, doesn't use it at all. Gets the Stuke. He's got 8 rounds now. If he uses them, he should be able to beat the Panzer IV here. Then again, he might not need with all the bazooka fire there. Oh dear! Outmaneuvering Vasto, destroying his Panzer IV as well. This is quickly looking ugly there for Vasto. He needs to put the Tiger Ace to use, and he's going to have to get as much damage as he can out of it now. Otherwise, he's going to be dead, because he can't afford to wait about for anything else. Then again, he's got plenty of victory points. He might be able to buy time. But of course, the other issue is the more he waits, you know, the more the larger forces the opponent can build up. At which point, the impact of the Tiger is going to be smaller. So, Vasto is in a particularly prickly situation at the moment. Which is generally why you need to be careful about just calling in a Tiger Ace. Also, this highlights why you keep your infantry near your armour. I mean, he had no infantry there. I mean, had he had a grenadier squad nearby, could at least maybe Panzerfaust it, you know. Either maybe the Jacks a bit scaring him a challenge there, but the overall lack of infantry made it very easy for FK9DD to operate his Jacks incredibly aggressively versus it. Up here, Storms with a bun grenade, there we go! Paratroopers falling like flies! As hardened men with the Panzerlehr show them true fighting power. But we got two Pathfinder squads, we're going to sweep away those krauts. We might hope to set up an ambush there, but looks like they aren't quite in the position for it. Jackson being used as a tank there against the MG42. Stormtroopers falling back in the face of double paratroopers in the east. We got a picture upon them. He was secured. Tiger Ace is not receiving repairs. In fact, he's just moving out there. He can soon go for another Pioneer squad, which would definitely be helpful for his Ace. Pathfinder's running out in the open versus the MG42. That seems pretty bold. Pretty bold. Ace moving towards the centre. I'm not entirely sure what Vasto's planning with that. He's rushing in. He's going to try and crush the house with his Jackson, I think. In this case, oh, the Ace actually did more damage to the house, it seems, than the Jackson. And there you go. Jackson gets the house, knocking out the MG42. But he might lose. He needs to use HVAP rounds. HVAP rounds. He used it. It was too late. Too late. And the Ace gets the Jackson tank destroyer. But of course, FK needs just getting so many more resources. He can easily replace them. He's almost got the Ace as well. He can't quite finish it off. Ace trying to escape, but if he actually moves in his troops, they could catch it. But looks like FK9DD is anticipating, staying along the right and does not have the time. That either way should anticipate, he'd just be around the area, in which case he could just get to here. You can sort of encircle and deal with it. But looks like his priority is on the victory points instead, which actually makes sense. In the south here, Paratroopers pushing back. They're going to need wiping them out. Vasto desperately needs more Pioneers. He desperately needs that Ace into action. He needs to actually throw it away because he cannot afford this. Another Jackson out here for FK9DD. He actually retreated from here. That I think was due to the mortar overall. Storms moving down. Double Jacksons from FK9DD. And Vasta's going for an Osman hit help here for the infantry. Not bad, but he still needs more Pioneers. He needs more Pioneers more than anything because otherwise that Ace is going to be loathsomely difficult to repair. Rolling in the Tiger Ace there. Cover wreck for them, a Stug. And there we go. Paratroopers forced to retreat in the face of the Ace. He's very close to being able to call in that second Pioneer squad, and he should do it though. It really needs, as soon as he's got the manpower, he just needs to press the button there for Pioneers and just get them out of there. That's it. You need to press that button, Vasto. That button. Then you know one that says Pioneer Squad. Another beacon spotted, another beacon shot to bits. Oh dear, he's going to push it ahead. Oh no. And he's operating his Osprey incredibly unsupported. Oh, double no. Oh, triple no. He's ran straight into the Jackson with the Ostwind, which somehow managed to dodge his shot. Two Pathfinders go down to the Ostwind though. And he still hasn't brought up a second Pioneer squad. His infantry's not moving on the centre victory point. Ostwind now trying to bait it into the Ace maybe. And they're going to do this perhaps. I mean, Vasto is playing a pretty high stakes game. And it's about to fail on him because he's about to lose the Ostwind. Storm's moving in there. Oh, almost every shot there. Oh, good lord. And we got the S-Force moving in there. P-47 swooping in. Ostman taken out. God, no. He's going for the victory points, though. He needs more pioneers. Said he went for another stormtrooper squad to grab the point. That Tiger Ace is quickly becoming a massive liability here for Vasto. He's just throttling him with resources when he does need it, and he's not getting repaired fast enough, so he can't even use it. So he's just sort of in a state there where the Tiger Ace is just doing him more harm than even remotely good. So he needs to resolve this swiftly. And I put emphasis down swiftly because otherwise he's going to be dead. Even if at some point Lucifer with doing some damage, it's just going to be not enough. So he needs to like switch things up here and get that ace either into full condition or just, you know, go all in to destroy but do as much damage and then try to push through because he can't afford, you know, this dithering about with the ace. As for Fk9DD, fighting position would be good choices. Locking down the victory points, making it harder here for Vasto to rush them. Even with stormtroopers, that would be pretty good. Shermans would be pretty nice. Mortars would be pretty nice. Machine guns. Munitions case is an interesting choice there by Fk9DD. I suppose it does give him more munitions for air support against the ace, which is his priority. Heading for the eastern victory point, which is probably the most or least defended alongside the northern one here. Paratroops hunting about here. Don't worry, just be quiet and make like a tree. And leave? Shut up, Joe. I'll have you shot. There you go, since they go for it, we got the storm. Paratroops moving in, they're right in front of the storms with the grenadiers. Assault rifle, storm gear fun. There you go. Veteran 3, Veteran 2. Oh dear, the paratroops are getting absolutely obliterated. Tactical advance, tactical advance. You could have maybe wiped them out there. He might still be able to do so. And there we go. Paratroops got wiped there for Fk9DD. His attempt at ambushing did not pay off. Instead, cost him a veteran squad of paratroopers. The one on the first will be paying him a visit later in the night with a large series of blunt instruments. Maybe some socks filled with bars of soap too. Going in for another beacon there again, pretty much alerting Fk9DD to what Vasto's doing. His ace is almost good to go. He's just sort of slowly repairing his moving ahead here. Slowly creeping up on Fk9DD, who is playing rather passively. He's actually not trying to outmaneuver his opponent. He's not trying to force him onto the defensive, but just, you know, hit him elsewhere. Got another Stormtrooper squad here. He's expending all of his manpower now on Stormtrooper squads like this. Pretty high risk stuff. And this engagement bar is not going to work out for the Stormtroopers. But there you go, creeping out. The ace just blasting away there, but it's always taking heavy damage from the Jacksons. Gonna just creeping up there, but the Pathfinders they're proving to be a bit of a problem. Up north, the Stormtroopers are about to get wiped out. But there you go, grenade off. He needs to retreat. He might even be too late. And there you go. At least he, I guess, saved the munitions, but that was really costly there for Vasto. Double hit there, got pack 40 crude opening up the Jacksons. Veteran 1 gained and 1 there you go. Need to retreat the Stormtroopers. Can't afford to lose those. Almost lost the ace. He's actually allowed to get destroyed, I think. Nope, he pulls back. And of course, again, he's only got 1 Pioneer squad to fix it. These guys are putting down to 54 victory points. Holy moly, that was a good mortar. Almost taking out the Pathfinder squad there. Fk9DD's heading trying to make manpower issues, but that's because he's just floating it. He's actually spending some of their manpower on more troops and armor and vehicles. Stormtroopers slowly creeping up. There we got the paratroopers nearby. Guns at the ready. Northern victory point is actually now open to some Stormtrooper harassment. But he really needs more pioneers. He needed more pioneers ages ago. Fk9DD, they're now going for riflemen, not paratroopers, and he's also going for a Scot that help deal with infantry. Which means he's feeling pretty confident he can handle the Tiger Ace with just a bunch of bazookas and the 1 Jackson there, which is not necessarily wrong. Vasto realizing he can't perhaps afford to wait around that long, so he's going to push in with the ace despite being super low on health and the pack 40. This ace just feels like a highly questionable series of choices to me. Use the stormtrooper spot up with the petrol, begin mortaring them, I think. Yep. Then clear out the petrol with the rest of his infantry, should be able to gain much better traction. Setting up for a big stormtrooper flank there with the assault rifles, by the way. Fixing up the ace, need to get the pack 40 a bit closer as well so we can see better. Scott rushing up to the northern victory point. We got Pathfinders moving in. And there goes Stormtrooper launching the assault. They're setting up the beacon. Pack 40 moving in. Tiger Ace perhaps moving in as well. Their parents were getting cut to ribbons by the Stormtroopers. The Jackson actually blocking the retreat path, forcing their way there. Mortar still nearby. Grenadiers in trouble with the Pathfinder Stormtroopers as well. They got the Ace moving in. Pack 40 moving in. There we got the Pathfinders. As soon as push back the Pack 40, the Ace goes to Tiny. Tactically, this actually makes sense. So it is highly risky. Grenadiers need to fall back. They're getting shredded. Moving up the Pack 40, shoots. Oh, got the right. Grenadiers up before the church collapsed. Mortify, raining down the riflemen. This is some high stakes play here by Vasto. One mistake and it's all going to go up in flames. P-47 striking in, but they can't see the ace. They can't engage it. This is the important thing about a lot of these abilities. They require line of sight, and he doesn't have it. So the P-47s don't do anything. So it's just a waste of munitions. 240 munitions doing nothing. Pearson's moving up into the Stormtroopers. Jackson was coming into the Pack 40. The lack of armor is actually into really punish Fk9DD because while they're great destroying the Tiger Ace, if the Tiger Ace is nowhere near in sight, they can't do anything. And his infantry's been pushed back here due to that tactically interesting move there by Vasto. They lost the other victory point. Need to get back there with the Stormtroopers. Clear them out. Ace there. Oh, sweeping in as well. Misses the captain. Misses the captain. Oh, he's bunching up. He's bunching up right from there. Oh, no. Almost the entire unit is dead. We got the Stormtroopers there ready to welcome the last man to the gates of hell. And wipes him, dropping a bazooka. Vasto might as yet salvage victory from the scrap heap of defeat. Pack 40 opens up. Stormtroopers moving in. Scott blasting down. They're almost getting the Pack 40, but the aces nearby. Stormtroopers caught low on health retreating. Ace shoots. Paratroopers moving in there. Supported by the Pathfinders. Almost got this. Using the Stormtroopers to spot for the ace. He's blitzing in there. He wants that Scott dead. We got the Jackson nearby. Need to get the Pack 40 in. Ace, I think, actually dodged a hit. Grenade off on the Paratroopers. The Pathfinders. Oh, almost got them. Gets to Scott. Jackson going enough for the Tiger Ace. More paratroopers being called in by Fk9DD now as the other paratrooper squad retreats. Ship destroyed. Tries to shoot the Jackson, but it's not nearby. Got the Pack 40 moving in. But just Fk9DD, I think, had gone for a few more tanks, but he had the resources for it. He would be in a much stronger position, but there's actually a chance he Vasto, despite the ace throttling him with resources. He might be able to pull up bazooka fire there. He gets the Jackson. He gets the Jackson. There's only bazookas left now to deal with this ace. P-47 going after this Tiger Ace. Every rocket barely misses. Pack 40 about to get wiped by the riflemen. Stormtroopers caught virtually 3 hardened veterans. Opening up down the riflemen in negative cover. More Stormtroopers arriving, plus 1 surviving Grenadier squad. 50 points left for Fk9DD. Trying to repair the Jackson. Oh, it's not going to work out, is it? No, the Reasons get wiped out. Executed against the side of the Jackson. And this Fk9DD surrenders. A hard-fought victory here for Vasto. Was damn close and is almost close to throwing it away there. Thanks to those Tiger Ace choices. But in the end, he was able to pull through and persevere for the fatherland. Making good use of the Stormtroopers with their assault rifles. And a few well-placed tactical assaults with some good flanks, overturning Fk9DD, punishing him for his lack of tanks or any machine guns. I mean, again, had Fk9DD been better using some of his resources, they would have been in a much better position. I mean, hell, if he just take that faster, it would have been a much better position. But he was so slow in taking up. He was so, I think, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, to be honest. And just taking up and push for anything. He was just allowing Vasto to get time to get, into the back there. Vasto's strategy, while interesting, did have a few flaws. The Tigers also feel like could have been handled better, but he was certainly able to pull through in the end. That was really, really, really damn close. And had, Fk9DD had a better force composition, this could have been a lot less good. He was also need to support his army with infantry better. In many cases, Stukes and Panzer IV were easy targets for Fk9DD's bazooka teams and whatnot, so more infantry supporting there would have been great for him. Mines would also have been great, and Fk9DD would also benefit from other things. But easily, he just called in 50 caliber machine guns. He could just made things a lot easier for him defending against the stormtroopers. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed today's match. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. And if you'd like to send a replay on, links in the video description. Please provide links to where on the back, leaderboards and links and whatnot of the match. And of course, if you like what I do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description as well. And of course, every little bit helps, so do consider if you can afford it. This is Imperial Link signing off. See you all tomorrow for another episode. Cheers.